Really? Is that it? Good. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I don't want to thank you for being patient. I'm the doctor, especially. He's laughing. No one else got that. Thank you for being patient. I'm the doctor. Okay, here's my third grade joke of the week or the year. It's a knock knock joke, so get ready. Knock knock. Interrupting cow. No. Oh, what's the difference between broccoli and boogers? Kids don't like broccoli. That's a second grade joke. All right, so who is up? Rob. Rob! The king of Rob. Yes, and try to go a little short so we can get everybody in. We're closing in on the time of the universe. Don't be pompous like I am, please.
You gotta do it down here, buddy.
This is called Undermar. You make me feel repulsive and base and wretched shame for this human race. Your flesh fills me with lust and greed. Your poetry makes this poor heart bleed. But then excruciating existential pains, all the creeping corruptions of our selfishly socialized brains, I must acquire and devour. Wipe away your willpower, till all you see is desire for me. I'll emblazon you onto my life's mythology. Ah, such egotistical lament. Shameless, aimless self-aggrandizement. This callous craving feels so cliched. A trophy-hunting endgame to getting laid. Yet in shedding the shackles of superficial city, must I eschew you for being so pretty? Wipe it away, peer past the lies, wipe it away, perceive the pearlescent prize. Comprehend me, I know you can. Your spirit and smarts cry for a complimentary man. You'll never see eyes so knowing and needful as mine. Feel my Kawore caress like a clinging vine. You embody my epitome of carnality. I'd rather die than never fuck, fearless and free. Fucking unforeseen since the founding of time, the most naked fornication in humanity's reclamatory climb. A proclamation that Homo sapiens can heal this earth. An affirmation, celebration of the goddess rebirth. And this is called Dyad Nauseum. The dyad is dying. Say goodbye, cheer the news. A cesspool cessation of codependent miscues. The dyad is dying. One lover and no more. My hormones are anguished. My mind doth snore. The dyad is dying. 2 parents are all I get. But this one's a bully and that one's all wet. The dyad is dying. Hear the cheers, behold the raves. Women shall no more be sex and food slaves. Double standards, domestic abuse, deadbeat dads, don't be obtuse. She does the work, he gets to play. Isn't it time she had her say? Isn't jealousy just so tiring? Possessive exploitation at long last expiring. The dyad is dying. Good riddance, be gone. To pollier pastures, we're moving on. Thank you. Wow.
Paul? I don't know. I can't read. Paul? Is there a Paul here? Oh, yeah. Come to the chair. And you're new, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. And now Sharon's got Tish giving us her all.
This is from I Could Chew on This. Chain reaction. Late one night, I step out in the yard and bark. Then the neighbor's dog barks. Then his neighbor's dog barks. And so it goes, house to house, street to street, town to town, state to state, coast to coast, until the very last dog tallies up those barks, and that's how we elect our president. And this is Dick Gregory. Last time I was down south, I walked into this restaurant, and this white waitress came up to me and said, "We don't serve colored people here." And I said, "That's all right, but I don't eat colored people. Bring me a whole fried chicken." And this is ducks. I chose the thing. This is called Ducks in a Row. Those Easter ducks and chickens on a farm, no problem. Just they mature. But in the city, where do you put them? From chicken, backyard, chicken, backyard, duck, backyard, basement. Always a lucky duck. We had one in our neighborhood that kept growing and growing and growing. And he kept growing. We had one girl that had a duck that she kept in a cage that she took to school with her and everywhere. But it got too loud, so she couldn't bring it to the movies anymore. One of our neighbors had a duck, and it got so big that he walked it around on a leash. This duck was fearless. He chased all the dogs, all the cats. He even chased the adults. When they went to the grocery store with him, he did not find the meat counter fun. The butchers found him fun. So then he kept growing and growing. His owner had a wonderful train set. Got to the train set upstairs. The grown men wouldn't let the kids play with it. So we went upstairs to the attic to watch. So one day, the duck goes outside to chase the pigeons on the roof. Well, he fell. And his neck was hurt. And we were panicked. We called my grandmother, and she said, "Go get a stick." "No, go get a slat." We got a slat, so we had the only duck on the block that was walking around with a brace, with a neck brace. He still continued to torture the dogs in the neighborhood, except my Aunt Nola's dog would hurt him, which he did not like too well. So he would wait for us in the school yard. He would come down the street, they let him out, and he would wait for us. And we would walk home with him, and it was quack, quack, waddle, waddle. So one day, finally, he died. And we had a nice little service for him, and we buried him in the backyard. And we had meatloaf, mashed potatoes, but no poetry.
That's it. And now, Paul, a new person coming to the fore here. Give him a round, please. Paul. Is that Paul up there? Paul.
Hi,
Hey, Paul.
my name's Paul. I read stuff.
Thank you.
First one I called Man's Mother Nature. Feeling the deepest part of you, driving groans out of the silence like caged butterflies from a darkened and stoned abode. How far away are you from screaming? Let the madness seep out. I know you don't want anyone to see, but we're so close, and I won't let go until you set yourself free. Now the tinsel curtain melts away, and your nakedness is real. On the sleep night stage, will you tremble or squeal? They say the greatest thrill rides are based on a little bit of that renouncing fear. Well, let the moment roll on, and never mind the squeezing. Oh, it's just going to show a deeper part of you. Or is it me, my dear? For a moment I'm scared, except I know you want it bare, through to the end of resistance. So let yourself go, baby, or I will without a care. Your nervousness begs it, my arms insist wrapped firmly around the most vulnerable crimes of your wavering fringe body, while emotional alarms sift. Do we dare? Again and again. While I'm still a man, what a thrill. Thanks. All right. I don't have a name for this one. My face, my lines, how do they play in this garden of wealth and decay? Grow to the heights which the bright sun commands, yet singes the nostrils of perspiring lilting. My skin beckons a reprieve to aging, still soft yet shrinking. How soon will it crinkle with exhaustion? And will my mind follow with the tenderness of forgetful sunsets? The music of nature, the fondness of pretending its sadness, the leaching failures of tardy expirations. Everything comes and goes, and yet always was. Our stars traced in the sky are falling in our dreams. Bugs and beetles feel as songs in which I cannot relate. Will let my mind sigh and my head peel. Soon it will be October and thoughts heavy. Age will feel less fruitful, I'm sure, lingering on. Thanks. All right, this one, it's called Suicide Manger. Free suicide from the love-made manger, taken to the fires down below. Got the sinking feeling things might have always been this way. From dizzy daisies to lazy fields hadn't been sown, using the crimson seasons to make it on my own. Screaming fetters got the soul side blues, but I ain't got that awful rhythm of losing face on my mind. Saddled with strict retching and shook up with bad blood. Been trying to hide the sun from the troubled mind shade. Soul river overrun, with the levee about to break away without any warning signs. You know who's got the time with jail time looking? Brothers and sisters sending angry letters. When ain't nobody know who's coming down that bread line. Chain gang's got that strumming power like the moon's got soggy feathers. Flying high with that heavy sigh. Well, listen to what you're sending for long, ain't nobody looking quite right. Can't read that kind of soothsaying, tripping over all different kinds with all kind of crooked lives. It's a city boy's kitchen, roasting the rats of the rowful, catching the sights of the unbelievable, yet look at those stars, oh so pitiful. Yeah, well go get yourself a pretty city. Why just sit here and cry, boy? Crying for your plenty, while the stars out and I out here gently weep and die.
There we go. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
You, give him a round. Thank you. Good job. Kim Shuck, the poet laureate of this wonderful burg that we live in. And then who's after Kim?
Tommy.
Tommy, you're ready. Okay.
You ready?
Well, she goes and then, you know what I mean. Just don't quote me. Because I'll deny everything.
Thank you, Thea, for that great reading.
Yeah.
In the wards and wings and yes, the fields and neighborhoods, you are song and song. Must be this fierce, a tensile world of country with feet and collected unsteady smiles in a cupped hand. The tilt of you, the occupied chair, the spiral path of waiting, we used to call it community. More than a coloring book emotion and patronizing gesture, more than deciding who belongs to whom, to where, we are not waiting to be filled in. We will call it community because we have to call it community. Sacred writings in breath on a window, a relaxation, a knowing, a silence. The hymn of a patchwork world, a map to escape, the path northwards encoded in thread and used cloth, the road to another light. Anything that transforms is dangerous, any shapeshifter suspect. And this is going to be my last one. Gently gather your strength. Sing to the new vests we're making, linked scales of former cells, scraps of outgrown shells lined with perfectly imagined kisses from the heroes we never met, folded tightly, wedged into the cracks. Wear all of your freely given gifts, wear them openly, scratch a mark for each day on the wall, tie a knot for every success, breakfast with ravens. Sand each amulet with their parables, join me at dawn, wear comfortable shoes, this is gonna take some work. And vote.
Yes, and vote. Jesus. So, our mini feature of the evening is Tommy.
Okay, try.
All right. So give this man a round of applause. Our mini of the evening.
Okay, so back in the Stone Age in 1971 when I came out, there was an expression, queer as a duck, and it wasn't a compliment. I went home with him, spent the night. In the morning, found out where I was. La Maison Duck, queer house. After a lifetime of living among those who didn't understand, I had finally arrived home. In our school system right now, we have about 3,000 kids who are homeless. How did it come to this? Living with her family in the cold back seat of an old van, studying by flashlight, using the bathroom at the gas station, going to school every day worried someone might find out. The turbulence of adolescence amplified by the fear she could end up on the street. A nosy neighbor calling the cops, the kind of woman who dials 911 on a black girl selling lemonade. Would they be arrested? Is homelessness a crime? People talk about it as if it is. Some of her classmates say the homeless are mentally ill, drug addicted. She isn't. Her parents aren't. They were evicted from their apartment. A speculator bought it, told them they had to leave. Her parents didn't know they had rights. She hears about other homeless families. In Southern California, a couple and their 2 children were found 3 days dead in their van from carbon monoxide. The kids were both under 2 years old. They never had a chance. In Salem, an evicted homeless couple and their 6-year-old were told their van couldn't be in a Walmart parking lot overnight anymore. How could this happen in this great America she hears about in school, the richest country in the world, the land of opportunity? Every day, she sees people walk over or around the homeless, bodies huddled under blankets shaped like cocoons on the icy, hard sidewalk. She tells the kids at school she's living with an aunt. She doesn't want their pity. She just wants a home. They greeted them in the southern part of Chiapas with food, tortillas, and beef stew, fruit, clothing, toys for the children, relief stations with medical supplies, public service announcements with instructions on how to help the dispossessed migrants from Honduras and El Salvador, heading to a northern country whose president has already declared they will be stopped, characterized them as criminals, said that bad people started their caravan, never expressed concern that thousands of desperate people left their homes to embark on a dangerous journey to find a better life like so many of our ancestors. Never acknowledged that this is not something people want to do. Violence and poverty give them no other choice. He's the Iceman, the tough guy. Empathy is a weakness. He talks of sending 1,000 troops to the southern border to prevent the huddled masses, the homeless, tempest-tossed from seeking asylum. He's going to make sure the inn has no room, the Nile too deep and treacherous to get across. He rules an America of which we all can be ashamed. Okay, I'll end there.
He was very generous right there. I really appreciate that. All right. EK Keith, and then Mariella? Marcella? Looks like Marcela. Okay.
Marcella? No?
Sure.
Is there a Marcella?
Or Mariella? Something? I can't read that. Anyway, give this woman a round of applause.
Somebody's next, but we don't know who.
And you can use me after that if that person is not still here.
So, I heard from a poet a long time ago that there were 13 ways of looking at a blackbird. There are clearly way more ways of looking at a duck. So I want you to picture a duck, or maybe a lot of ducks, on a pond, where ducks like to be. Henry David Thoreau's mother did his laundry the whole time he was at Walden Pond.
Hey.
Transcendentalism is easier when your mother does the laundry. It frees up your mind and your time to ponder the path of an ant, or make arcane calculations about the cost of living on Walden Pond. Mrs. Thoreau's hands must have gotten tired of scrubbing a philosopher's underwear and pressing the shirts of a self-reliant thinker. She must have encouraged his civil disobedience. A night in jail would have been her only day off. Look, check it out. I'm reading from a book that I wrote. It's called Ordinary Villains. Look, people of the internet, look. Just make a bunch of clicks. This is my new book. If you would like one, I have them for sale. Here now.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, they're delicious. So, ask me if you want one. Thanks, Dan.
Do another one.
Really?
Yeah, just
okay. I usually like to just do one and go, but all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's Halloween, so it's
Is
kind of... Yeah, I heard.
Okay, just checking.
So I am gonna do something scary. Oh yeah, here we go. This is scary. Everybody wants a lover. So where does love fit in a world of citizen pornographers? Our fetish machines make us voyeurs, increase curiosity, decrease modesty. We all need to know what everybody's bodies look like. Professional photographs bore with plastic alterations to private places or electronic edits to pixelated faces. With a touch, built-in breakup regrets torture exes, whether they're in Texas or Timbuktu. We shame them by posting tokens of trust broken, such mean exposures, but shame on who? our culture of vultures feasting on the remains of what used to be love. Yeah. Happy Halloween, y'all.
Happy Halloween. Thank you for giving a nice round as he comes up. And then Antoinette is after Buford, then Garrett, then Hal. Just so we know how we're doing around here.
This is for all of you who have father issues. This is called My Father Didn't Understand Me, or Did He? Men can't get along if we're territorial, which most of all of us are. I decided to come in and invade their space, and they didn't like it. It was obvious from the way they acted, as if everything I said was incorrect. After all, I had been gone so long, living on the other side of the country, so how could I know what was up there in Mobile, even though it was the place of my birth? I think they were probably right, or maybe I didn't want to know how things really were. I didn't want to be there in the first place. Had one foot out the door and an objectivity, an antithetical view of everything. And my ex-wife encouraged me. There were these fishing reels that were overpriced and just sitting around getting rusty and dusty. Sell them cheap, she advised in her high voice, and I agreed. Here we go, here's some more. So I slashed prices, the prices of the stuff with all its dust and not quite rust, and it started to go out the door. Don't sell any more cheap reels, Buf, my dad said it when he got back to the shop. But they're going to like hotcakes, and the prices I'm selling them at before, they were just getting rusty and dusty. I was pleading my case like Perry Mason, but Earl Stanley Gardner's Hamilton Burger had a retort, of course. Just don't do it, son. The old man had a little bite in his voice, and I must have looked shocked because he frowned up, then backed down a bit. Okay, Daddy, I said to my old man. I didn't want to say it, but I didn't want to drive up his blood pressure any higher than it was. He was taking medicine for the problem. He went outside, the cuff of his brown khaki pants dragging the floor, and then to the parking lot. He began bringing in the fishing poles, tying them with little shredded-looking plastic ties. This was my immediate ancestry.
And now we have Antoinette give her a round, and then Garrett, come on up. You can be on with it.
For Halloween, here we go. Follow him, our source, home through light. Trust his sure call, clear like barking dogs at night. Penetrate deep consciousness, soar above trees, overlook community from heights unseen. Holiness prevails this foggy Hallows Eve as we walk with those present, those gone before us, and those in between. Another short one. Cold feet had more meaning since faith in the impossible had swelled in her soul. Joyfully she walked without shoes in the snow until another's tenderness claimed her heart. He needed her to walk fast so he could go on. The click of his cane on wet pavement shook ground far and near as we approached the end. She turned her head, he held her heart. Out at night, in at night, night has come with you. I'm going to do this one again. Fat girl wears hats of illusion, compromised burden belonging to can't, ride bike, wear shorts, eat in front of people. No dancing either. Compulsive addictions rule hungry heart, while worldly wealth like wet blankets smolders fire within, can't live, can't love, dissatisfaction at every turn, persecuted with prejudice. Fat girl's isolation spirals to her best friend, sugar-laden, deep-fried Foster's freeze. She does not know clerk judges not baker's dozens taken home for friends to stuff crevices caused by neglect. Fat girl wears solitary verve, without judgment, expectations, never more lies, presence, acceptance of self as real. She is dismissed beneath fair, slim, beautiful, fat girl's strong stance scene worthy of love.
Thank you. Thanks for that. Garrett Murphy is next, and then Hal, come up to the chair there. Give Garrett a round. We'll bring it. As they say in France, we be doing great.
When is Joanna up?
Joanna, right there. Yeah, she's after Hal. She's after Hal.
And since this is a Halloween, going to search through my archive and trying to find something that involved that or some sort of masquerade in some way. Halloween Blues. Coming in as a power broker, showing up as domestic or soldier, arriving as a delivery person, be it mail, milk, or plumbing whatever. A doctor, lawyer, or officer, even in a NATO suit and tie and cap and gown, they think it's a necessary part of living. Not to worry, you only have to wear it 364 days a year. Dr. Palmer, we presume. Like all the gleeful quacks of his kind, Walter Palmer fantasizes about his quest. He wants in share glory, too, to be sanctified by the organization known as the System. He sets out to Zimbabwe for jungle glory. He bags a big one, a really big one, not only a king, but a most renowned one. Walter has bagged his own game. He returns to the old glory-wreaked home with pride in his heart and beating on his chest. But wait a minute, something is very wrong here, and it will cost Walter dearly. For you see, in his quest for ultimate sanctification, it appears Walter in his haste shot dead an African lion. That black mane must have fooled him. Now, instead of the sanctification he was craving from the System, Walter is now public enemy number one on the run. He didn't realize he could only be sanctified by the System had he killed an African human. And unlike Beanie, he cannot yelp for help. Cecil, help. Cecil can't help him now or anymore. Cecil was the one whom Walter shot dead in his misguided quest for System sanctification. A jewel for a punch. This is Hugh Briss of the Medley News. We have breaking news tonight. Breaking news, authorities have reported that after a year-long manhunt, they have finally apprehended the serial murderer dubbed Mr. Punch due to eerie similarities between his actions and those of the Punch character in the centuries-old puppet show Punch and Judy. There are, however, a few differences noted by witnesses, the most notable of which being that instead of the stick known as the slapstick, this Punch doppelganger uses a flagpole complete with Old Glory herself, the kind with an eagle on top with which he impales his victims, all of whom also bear a striking resemblance to various other characters in that show, even in some cases those long thought out of fashion. All, that is, except the first, whom authorities have been at a loss to identify. Though curiously, there appear to be two Judys among the victims. Our roving reporter Camden Smarmy is live right now with the SWAT and Homeland Security teams who are proudly displaying the heavily shackled ersatz Mr. Punch. Camden? Yes, here we are right here with members of SWAT and Homeland Security, bringing out our heavily shackled Punch impersonator so we can get a statement from him. Now, you imposter. Hold it, Camden. We have a bulletin coming in. Authorities have finally identified a bogus Punch's first victim. He happens to be the original Mr. Punch. That is a shocker, Hugh, but then who is this? Wait, they've just taken off his mask. No, it's... Donald Trump? But, of course it's me. Who else could have taken out that grinly, ugly, un-American foreign twerp with the hook nose, silly hat, and karate pogo stick but me? Now, if you'll excuse me, watch how he's somehow broken free of his sponsor, and he got no of his flagpole. I'm going to show you all the way to really do it. Camden, SWAT team, Homeland Security, we've just lost our signal. Dear viewers, I promise we'll keep trying to get back to Camden, if at all possible. Wait, it's just coming in. They're identifying the rest of the victims. First late, Judy has been identified as Rosie O'Donnell. The baby was Marco Rubio. The constable is Reince Priebus, chair of the Republican Party. The crocodile was Chris Christie. Pretty Polly was Carly Fiorina. Joey the Clown was Rand Paul. Toby the dog was Bobby Jindal. The lawyer was Lindsey Graham. The ghost was Rick Santorum. The second Judy has been identified as Megyn Kelly. Mrs. Scaramouche was Jeb Bush. Jim Crow the black man was Ben Carson. The doctor was John Kasich. The skeleton was George Pataki. Jack Ketch the hangman was Mike Huckabee. And the devil was Ted Cruz. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hugh Briss warning you all to remain wary at all times, for it appears there is a new Mr. Punch on the loose. If we do somehow hear from Camden Smarmy or the SWAT team or Homeland Security, we'll let you know. But in the meantime, watch out, please.
Joanne is after Hal. And Joanne, you're also new, correct? Perfect.
I've got time out to about 4 minutes.
Do I tap it to make the picture show? I just want to make sure.
Having technical difficulties?
No, I don't think. I just like,
It's still recording. You're fine.
You're good. Yeah. Thank you for your patience and kindness. There you go.
4 Ducks on a Pond by William Allingham. 4 ducks on a pond, the grass bank beyond, a blue sky of spring, white clouds on the wing. What a little thing to remember for years, to remember with tears. Nine Ducks by James McLean. Her drowsy head mid summer's heat, he lifts his right wing, which is limp, nodding satisfaction to hear him sing inside upon the water where the lake indistinct. These lakes are distant too, between the oil on his feathers, where they are green, spread across the open water, romance has left 7 separate trails. The Darkling Thrush by Thomas Hardy. I leant upon a coppice gate when frost was spectre grey, and winter's dregs made desolate the weakening eye of day. The tangled vine stems split the sky like strings of broken lyres, and all mankind that haunted nigh had left their household fires. The land's sharp features seemed to be the century's corpse outlent, his crypt the cloudy canopy, the wind his death lament. The ancient pulse of birth and seed was shrunken, hard and dry, and every spirit upon earth seemed fervorless as I. At once a voice arose among the bleak twigs overhead of a full-throated even song of joy illimited. An aged thrush, frail, gaunt, and small, with blast-beruffled bloom, had chosen then to fling his soul upon the gathering gloom. So little cause for caroling of such inspired sound, was written on terrestrial things, afar or near around, that I could think there trembled through his happy midnight air some blessed hope of which he knew and I was unaware. Thank you.
I love it. And Nasira, you're on the chair, on deck chair. Hi. Oh, she is new. She hasn't been here. Welcome.
Thank you. This poem is inspired by Beyonce. It's called Magazine Girls. I want to look like one of those ethnic girls in magazines who wears raunchy heels and ghetto clothing, whose ethnicity and history is washed clean by the fact that she's on the cover of a magazine, where my ghetto history, of all those before me, don't exist on census report statistics printed on newspaper obituaries. When I wear the exact same thing, my clothes get overshadowed by the color of my skin, the curly in my hair, the protruding in my lips, the pop in my hips. When gentrifiers walk past me, they don't see intelligence and master's degrees, lived in Europe for 3 and have gained more identities, ethnicities, and nationalities than what's revealed by the visas in my passport or the name on my ID. All they see is hood kid, 6 o'clock news kid, statistic kid, pregnant at 16 kid, gold chain wearing kid, morenita chiquita banana kid, mixed race kid, hair pick kid, mira mami ven aquí kid, hanging on the stoop kid, don't rob me kid, I'll eat your ethnic food, but don't talk to me invisible kid. Yeah, not me. I want to be on the cover of a magazine living on billboards for eternity. I want to hang like those naked girls in art galleries, whose financial worth is exponential to my current salary, where men don't touch the art, they let the art touch them, where I am seen and heard, cherished, celebrated, admired, handled with care, where 80% of art is female, even if females created only 5% of art. I want to stand on pedestals, naked, brazen, free, authentic femininity standing before me in silence. You contemplate my ethereal beauty. The bigger my belly, the more stimulating the painting. The darker my skin, the more complex the contrast. The more vivid my suffering, the more profound my existence. Female involuntarily becomes art. Art is indisputably respected. I am beautiful because I am art. I am art because I am woman. You've heard of White Girl Wasted? This poem is called Brown Girl Wasted. Brown girl wasted is composed. Brown girl wasted doesn't show. Brown girl wasted learned to hold her liquor long ago. Brown girl wasted never admits to mom she gets wasted. Brown girl wasted hides her wastedness well. Brown girl wasted sneaks to the bathroom and forces herself to throw up, then wants to dance. Brown girl wasted can still tear it up on the dance floor even though she's wasted. Brown girl wasted remembers her brown father wasted at night, a happy, drunk, singing, smiling. Brown girl wasted remembers being annoyed by her brown father wasted. She remembers the smell, the alcoholic medicine morning rotten eggs breath mixed with marble reds evaporating from his pores the next day, crudo, raw, hungover. Quick, get this brown man another beer to cure his ailments and keep him wasted. Brown girl overcompensates for being brown. Brown girl wasted must not show her wastedness. Brown girl wasted must always be on guard. Brown girl wasted is always a target. Brown girl wasted drinks to forget. Brown girl wasted drinks and remembers that night. Brown girl wasted feels ashamed. Brown girl wasted blames herself. Brown girl wasted feels embarrassed. Brown girl wasted is convinced she deserved it, believes it's her fault, accepts she's tainted goods, so lets others taint her goods. Brown girl wasted takes another drink. Brown girl wasted's mom reminds her nothing good can come from drinking. Reminds her brown wasted father did nothing with his life while drinking. Brown wasted uncle died while drinking. Brown wasted aunt was killed while drunk. Reminds her that her own son, brown girl wasted's brother, has been arrested 3 times for being brown girl wasted and driving. Brown girl wasted is annoyed with her mother for asking, si yo no tomo, ¿por qué tú tomas? Brown girl wasted never says, te lo prometo, when mama begs her to promise to stop drinking. Brown girl wasted just keeps getting wasted. It's not until the morning after when brown girl wasted goes to church on Sunday and swears she will never drink again. Thank you.
Go ahead. Greg? Oh, Nasira, then Greg. Sorry about that. I almost made a mistake. I'm good at making mistakes.
How do I make it go? Untwist it?
Other way.
This way? There you go. I did it on my own. Okay, tighten it up. Okay.
See, you can see how you appear right there on this thing. Isn't that cool?
That's not cool. I don't like that.
I feel the same way.
I'm like, ugh. Okay, so first of all, I want to say, like, oh my God, you guys are so talented.
You are.
Everybody I've heard, yeah. Talent is good. Use it. It's an outlet, I guess. Okay, I never name my poems, but here's this one. Her heart's beating for you. Grieving we're through. Concepts of the misconception. Depths to deception. What am I protecting? Succulent. Suck your lips just to learn that you let manipulation rub against them. Trajectory. You reach lengths no one has. Ambiguous pride that won't pass. Monotonous thoughts. Provoked feelings that I think spark healing. If I get the feeling, then I just won't feel. Then I just won't deal. Wake up and smell reality. Concrete roses and bitter kisses, asking God why he let the sunlight seep through the windows, and why does he let love sway within my pores, poor old me having to take accountability for being a damn fool, accepting trial and error as one of my tools, toil and twiddle your thumbs just to find words that mean something to me. As I stare into the distance, I'm alone. You're there. But I don't need your company. Unsaid words, and some said too much.
Let's hear it up. And now, the voice, as he is sometimes called, Greg Pond. The honorable, the mellifluous, the magical, never maudlin.
Oh, sometimes. First of all, I'd like to say I'm wearing this shirt in honor of San Francisco legend Willie McCovey, who passed away earlier today. And he was number 44, Stretch McCovey. So, R.I.P.
36 home runs, I think.
Yeah. Okay. At the border. Where's your son? Where's your daughter? Are they sleeping safe and sound, or did they snatch them at the border? The punishment for immigrants entering as refugees and seeking asylum is detention and arrest at the behest of a president while the kids are no longer beside them. From early native invasion through the height of slave trading, it's a regrettable but familiar refrain buried in the DNA of this nation. Separation used once again as a deterrent mark, stay away, to anyone caught wearing the wrong colored skin in the good old USA. While those with no souls are quick to say, well, only a few aliens got bothered and they shouldn't have been here anyway. The callous disregard for family and kin since this country's beginning sure ain't nothing new. Couples have been split and their kids shipped off to God knows why or even where to. Now some get kept in cages, like in prisons or in zoos. When parents get deported, babies defend themselves in court. How do they ever get reunited, and what the hell are we going to do? Meanwhile, a first lady pays a visit to see firsthand what it is these folks are going through. But she undermines it all by wearing a jacket with the message scrawled, I really don't care. Do you? And this last one I wrote for one of my heroes, civil rights heroes, somebody who may not get a lot of notoriety, but her name was Fannie Lou Hamer. Yeah. And if you're not familiar with her, check her out. And I borrowed some of her quotes, and I kind of twisted them a little bit, but I think the essence is here. Miss Fannie Lou Hamer. When is it time to become inspired? When is it time to stand for truth? When will you be finally sick and tired of being sick and tired like Miss Fannie Lou? She mobilized, sacrificed, fought the fight for civil rights. She used to say, you can pray until you faint, you can cry until you're blue, but if you don't get up and try to do something, God won't put it in your lap for you. She helped poor folks to register even when the law threatened her. Despite the guns, clubs, and dogs, she would always proclaim, I'm not backing off. Didn't come all this way for just 2 seats on the train when we're all sick and tired of the being sick and tired refrain. An activist for women, pioneered to end the voting ban, jailed, mistreated, and severely beaten by a white authority's hand. I recall her saying, whether you have a PhD or no D at all, we're in this bag together. We're in this bag together we will stand, divided we will fall. But if I do go down, let me stretch my 5'4" frame forward, so I'll be that much closer to freedom by the time I hit the ground. Miss Fannie Lou, a fighter, a champion, a maverick who took a stand for those who couldn't speak for themselves in the deep of the 60s South, with the Ku Klux Klan and the crosses burning and the twisted mouth, as Nina Simone sang the blues about bodies hanging while black is still the color of America's hate and fear, state to state, across this land and everywhere, just like in Mississippi. God damn.
Thank you. That's great fun. We got Lauren. And you're new, correct?
I am new.
Hi. This one is called Date with a Human. To my date, who says there is only one race, the human race, and cultural pride is a toxin on this earth. To the man who prioritized racial identity 8th or 10th behind human, vegan, dog lover, and hip-hop fan. Under what rock are you living? Do you not see black and brown bodies slain in these streets? Your skin is like toasted coconut. Your hair as black as midnight. Your eyes glisten like your father's, who came here to escape a war pummeling his country, that splattered his likeness across screens, then the walls of the tea shop next door. In the plaza, he learned to ride a bike. In the market stall, your grandmother's hands plucked dates and grapes and cucumbers for his lunch. Her eardrums permanently ring from the bombs that seared them, craving nothing more than the chirps of canaries once again. So now I ask, who maimed you? How did it happen? Was it boys who pummeled your face with grimaces at recess, or girls who wouldn't dance with you because your skin color clashed with their prom dress? Did the media consume you until you pander to the voices that can't even pronounce your name? My heart aches for you, for your future children. who will one day look up at you over a bowl of grapes, eyes glistening, canaries chirping, bombs rattling in their blood, and ask, Daddy, who am I? I beg of you, answer more than just human. I'll be reading at 11:11 for Gears Turning in Adobe Books.
Matthew, and I know him from Poets 11. He's coming up here, and then we have our closer, Rob. Thank you. Rob, why don't you come on up here and get into the warm-up thing. Give him a nice round. We haven't seen him in a while. Is this your first time here?
First time here.
Our first time here! I didn't know that, but now we know.
Now you know.
All right.
And I'm also, like EK, I'm out here flogging a new book.
Oh, good.
Called The Case.
Use the mic.
It's called The Case of the Six-Sided Dream. I'm just showing everybody in the Cyberlandia. Let's see. Okay, this poem is called Polaroid Mom. Her face is a faint voice dipped in darkness, calling before I see her, though we are instant intimates in one another's presence. We are impatient with our slow image, coming through the reverse burn, crepe of ash, disintegrating into color. Now she comes along with everything behind her. Blue sky and a kind of blue ocean, emptied of blue man-o-war piled upon the tide line, with very, very white people obliterating winter from their bodies. What has become of our species? We hold the image, developing its answer, a ringless hand on each border, my childhood camera weighing around her neck, lilac in a smiling stranger's hair, a shock unloosed flicks my neck, a brief third rail thrill brings our picture to life. The little girl tugs at her mom's rolled up jeans, dying to see what we're made of. I kneel beside her driftwood teepee, blonde head poking through the door. This is the image she wanted, so Mom reluctantly pointed and shot. Blushing too, like this face from the neighborhood, coming into focus. Lines deliquesce into a crispness, surprising us three. Before it's too late, I smile and wave and wander up the dunes as if I could back into the Polaroid dark beneath all this aching light. This one's called The Mist is Settling on Everything. The mist is settling on everything. The train splashes past. The house rumbles in its wake. The heat clicks on in the middle of spring. I close all the windows. Way across San Francisco, the sun is blazing. Everyone is sure of it. Out here by the ocean, the land simply draws more water. The sky is weighted, low slung, not bothering to fall, what with water rising to meet it. Out here, our street is like the others, alphabetical, neatly numbered in a nautical grid, now submerged beside the park, where the oldest trees sway like rooted water lilies, buoyed in the sky. Ornithologists consult swell maps and crane their necks, up to canopies where birds flit like water bugs, skating the even stratospheres. It is a rare migratory season, a day in length if that, Already the sun is settling on everything. Waters recede. I open a second-story window, just above the flood zone again. Drain pipes done with their music. Seated upon the neighbor's olive branch, a crow thinks to caw, waiting for the ground to reappear, glistening black in remnants of thinning, silent mist.
Thank you. And now our closer, Rob, and we're going to take care of these wonderful, fancy door prizes here. Like I like to say, when you sign in, you put your name next to a number, and the cards have numbers. I draw these numbers and let the causes, consequences flow as they might.
Oh no, it's Rob.
It is Rob. Rob. As I like to say, I like to sing that. Are you going to sing?
No.
I just, I knew this, but I wanted to ask anyway. Because you don't want to have down mic time. That's what they tell me in the professional development field.
No. Forgive me for not ending with a comedy piece, but this just seemed like the song for tonight. This was inspired by a song by local performer Margot, her song Killing the Blues. This is called Kill the Blues. We can kill the sky and we can kill the sea. We can kill every single truffula tree. But the one thing we can't kill the blues. We can kill the rivers, we can kill the Everglades. We can kill our love and the memories that we made. But the one thing we can't kill the blues. We can kill the best and we can kill the worst. We can kill all the people who lived here first. But the one thing we can't kill the blues. We can kill the screams and we can kill the tears. We can numb ourselves with sports and God and beers. But the one thing we can't kill the blues. We can kill the dodos and all the Hutus. We can kill the amphibians. We can kill the Jews. But the one thing we can't kill the blues. Well, we can kill King and we can kill X. We can kill hope. We can kill sex. But the one thing we can't kill the blues. We can take our own lives with glee or agony. We can murder the murmurs of our own morality. But we just can't kill the blues. We can kill the hero or the sacrificial bad guy. We can kill the ERA. We can kill Firefly. But the one thing we can't kill the blues. We can kill reason and we can kill rhyme. We can kill and kill until there's nothing to kill but time. Still the one thing we can't kill. We can't kill the blues.
Rob! So, Mr. Brett, we can probably Sure. Yes, because that way I'm just going to do the prizes. I have been shuffling these cards obsessively, compulsively, as you might not have noticed, but I try to not to make it so obvious. So I'm just shuffling before your very eyes, keeping the cards in front of you, so I don't know what I'm doing here, except blabbercating uselessly. And Buford, my current host,